In this video, we will be reviewing how to apply for an enduring material activity through continuing nursing education, and we will also review what is required and expected after approval of the program. So when you open up the application, you will find that you are at the pre-application. We do request that you submit this pre-application at least 60 days prior to the start date of your program. This will ensure that we can review all of the required documentation and get it approved in time for your intended launch date or start date of your enduring material. First, you will indicate the title of your activity, your information, and the facility. You will then indicate whether the program is interprofessional or uniprofessional. So, interprofessional is nursing plus one or more other professions, and uniprofessional is only nursing. As many of you watching this video know, this application is strictly for uniprofessional ANCC RN credit only. However, let's see what happens if I select interprofessional. It would ask me if I would like to apply for credit for the other professions, and it indicates what other professions we can apply for through joint accreditation. Please keep in mind that if you did want to apply for other disciplines, that discipline should be represented in the planning of your content and must be listed as a part of the planning committee of your content. For example, if I wanted to invite MDs and DOs to my program to receive credit, then I would have to have ensured that there was an MD or a DO a part of planning the activity. So that does not apply for me, so I am going to select no. As you can see here, we do have the opportunity to select additional professions that we can include in the target audience of the program. However, they will receive a certificate of completion since we are not applying for specific credit for those professions. But please keep in mind you are still more than welcome to include other professions and invite them. My program is only applicable to nursing, so I am going to select Uni Professional. It will then ask me to describe further the target audience. So for me, I'm going to select all RNs, but in this location, you will be able to identify maybe it's RNs only in specialty areas or NPs, so on and so forth, and you can indicate that here. We will then move on to select an enduring material activity as the type of activity. To review this, enduring material activities are pre-recorded online courses that include pre-work modules, program text, audio tapes, webinars, computer-assisted instructional materials, which are used alone or in combination with written materials. So I have indicated that my program is enduring material. Once you have indicated that, the policy for enduring materials at Northwell Health will populate. It is a requirement that you review this policy and attest to reading it and agreeing to it. As you have agreed to it and submit this pre-application, that means you agree to adhere to Northwell Health's policy for enduring materials. So please read it thoroughly before you select yes. If you do have any questions, you can always reach out to nursing conferences. You will then select the type of enduring activity. You will then see that there may be a fee associated with it. We will let you know upon the submission of the pre-application if that is the case. Typically, there is no fee, but we will let you know. So I've indicated the type of enduring material. This is now required for all enduring material activities. There must be 3 reviewers that review your content and program. Each reviewer will complete an attestation form and you will attach the completed forms in this application, and it is a requirement. Let's see what this attestation form looks like. Each reviewer will indicate their name and credentials, the title of the activity, and the amount of time it takes for them to complete the content. They are then able to provide comments, and then they will put a signature and a date, and this is allowed to be submitted electronically. The reason we do this is that upon approval of your program, we will average the time that it took your reviewers to take your program, and that will be the identified contact hours for your program. I have then indicated the release date of the program, and it will finally ask me, is this program non-clinical or clinical? It is very important that this is answered correctly because all non-clinical programs are not required to submit disclosure information or disclosure forms as per joint accreditation. If the program is clinical, then disclosure information and collection of that is required for your program. If you are unsure if your program is clinical or non clinical, please reach out to us so we can direct you in the appropriate selection. My program is clinical, so I selected no. We then move on to disclosure forms and contact information. Here, I must list all individuals involved in creating, reviewing, or speaking for this program, including but not limited to course directors, planners, teachers, authors, reviewers, or others. And it does ask to include yourself in the list. So, my program was clinical. So, therefore, I do have to upload disclosures. If my program was non clinical, I would still have to complete this information and indicate who has been involved in my program. However, these mandatory disclosure form uploads would not populate for you. My program is clinical, and I need to list four people: myself as the course director and the faculty, as well as the writer of the content. And then I have to include all three of my reviewers who reviewed my content that I listed above. So please remember that even the reviewers do have to complete disclosure forms for this program. So I have uploaded all of the disclosure forms necessary. Please keep in mind that if you do not have them uploaded, it will not allow you to submit this pre-application if your program is clinical. I've uploaded all of the required information. I have completed my pre-application and I have hit submit. And it says, thank you. The CNE team will review the pre-application and grant access to the remainder of it. If any changes need to be made, the CNE team will contact me directly. So I've just been notified that my CNE pre-application for my enduring material activity has been approved and I've been granted access to the remainder of my application. First, it will ask for professional practice gaps and outcome measures. So here we have a list of examples of professional practice gaps, as well as an example of a gap statement. If you are unfamiliar with gap statements or professional practice gaps, please utilize these examples. You can also find great examples of gap statements on Google. Please ensure you understand what is required in a gap statement before you provide your own gap statement below. So the first question will be for you to provide that gap statement of what your program aims to address. Then you will move on to evidence to validate the professional practice gap, and you can select all that apply to your gap. You will then state the educational needs that you determine to be the cause of that practice gap that you have identified. So we have some options here for you: skills, strategy, performance, and other. So I selected skills and strategy. It then populated a box for me to further describe the changes in skills and strategy that I feel are needed and those educational needs and skills and strategy. The more I select, the more boxes will populate for me to further explain why. Then, which of the following types of results will this activity address? What this question is asking is, the program is designed to change blank, and you will select all that apply to your program. Then, in 50 words or less, you will state what you intend to specifically change in terms of what you have selected above. So anything that you have selected in before that, you will apply to your statement. The next two sections provide verbiage and selections specifically provided to us by Joint Accreditation. So they are very broad and they are there for you to select which applies to your program. So first is the application of team attributes and core competencies. You will indicate which of the core team competencies as developed by the Interprofessional Education Collaborative that will be addressed in this activity, and you will select all that apply. You will then select two prepared learning objectives. Again, very broad. Please select two that apply to your program. Now let's move on to more specific information to my program. You will then have to submit two measurable and specific learning objectives to your activity. These learning objectives are specifically learner geared, not instructor geared. So I've provided an example for you here. Participants will be able to identify risk factors for UTIs. What these objectives are identifying is what your expectations are of your learners as to what they will be able to do after they have completed your program. Again, if you are unfamiliar with writing objectives, you can get familiar with specific verbiage to use by Googling Bloom's taxonomy, or you can Google learner or participant objectives on Google, and you will be provided with some good examples if you are unfamiliar with writing objectives. We will then move on to lesson plan and agenda. For the enduring material component, you will just simply have to put each topic, who is presenting it, if there is a presenter on the enduring material activity, and what the teaching strategy is for that section. And you can add up to 10 separate topics. In our other applications, we require for the applicants to indicate the amount of time allotted for each section. So enduring material functions a little bit differently. After we have reviewed your attestation forms on your pre-application, we will indicate what your calculated number of contact hours for your program is. Once you scroll down to live contact hours, you will see your calculated enduring ANCC contact hours that we have already averaged out for you from those attestation forms. So you now have the contact hours for your program, and you are able to complete your slide deck and enduring material landing page. The slide deck is very straightforward. You will simply put the title of your program. You can leave the date blank, or you can put the date that it was brought live or last reviewed. You will then indicate the ANCC contact hours that we have designated on the application above. And then you will move on to disclosure policy and listed disclosures. On this slide, because it is a clinical program, it is requiring me to list all of the disclosures. Had my program been non-clinical, the disclosure policy verbiage would be slightly different and I would not have to list any disclosures. Please do not worry about knowing the difference between the two. You will be provided with the appropriate template based on what you selected in your pre-application, whether your program was non-clinical or clinical. Now, a very important piece is the enduring material landing page. This form must be submitted, and you will receive a final copy upon approval of your program. The final copy must be attached to your enduring program for participants to see as they go through program content. So normally on our learning management system, you'll be able to link this PDF or document onto your activity. Later on, we will expect a screenshot of this landing page on your enduring material activity on the learning management system, but we will discuss that later on. So let's take a look at what an enduring landing page is. You will simply put the name of the course, description, how to access the course and references, your target audience, learning objectives that should be exactly the ones that you submit in the application, joint accreditation statement, contact hours, which you will edit here, the disclosure policy, and listed disclosures. Again, if this were a non-clinical program, this disclosure policy and listed disclosures would look different, and you would not have to list any disclosures. You will then include technical support. At the bottom, you will indicate the date released, and that is the date that you signified to us on your pre-application that you would like to launch your enduring material activity. Most recent review would be that same date of release because you are reviewing up until you have released it. And the program expiration date, you will leave blank. We will provide you with a final copy of your enduring material landing page upon approval for you to upload to your enduring material activity that includes the expiration. So I've uploaded my slide deck and my landing page, and we now move on to references. Through joint accreditation, we are required to include and upload at minimum of two references for your activity. When we list them, they must be in APA format, and then we must also provide the document itself. So as you can see here, I have included in APA format my two references, as well as linking both articles to my application. You do have the option of including more references here. You are not required to include or upload any further references besides the required two. Please feel free if you have a long list of references, you can put as many references as you want in each of these boxes, both 3 and 4. And if you would like to upload and you do have a copy of those references listed, you can upload them here, but again, it is not required. Now we move on to criteria of awarding contact hours. All CNE programs do require a submission of an evaluation form for the learner to receive contact hours. This evaluation is distributed by the CNE team, and we will discuss that when we discuss roster submissions. What this section is having you indicate is if you are requiring something further in order for your participants to receive credit for this program. So for myself, I want all of my participants to complete a post test successfully with a specific score. If my participants do not, they will not be able to receive credit for this program, and I will not submit their name to CNE. Again, this is an option. You can leave this blank if you are okay with your participants just submitting an evaluation to receive credit. You will then answer any revenue questions that apply to your program. And now let's go to follow-up and outcome evaluation method. This is the evidence that change in knowledge, skills, or practices of your target audience was assessed and changed. For enduring programs, these are submitted 6 and 12 months after initiation of the program. You will receive an automatic invite at 6 and 12 months after initiation for you to submit your follow-up evaluation summary. We then have listed follow-up evaluation methods with guidelines of what is expected for you to submit based on what you are selecting. If you do select self-reported change in practice or focus group, you can utilize this survey to guide your outcome evaluation and to distribute to your participants. You can save this for your records so that you are ready to utilize it later on. You will then indicate which follow-up evaluation method you have selected. And if you don't like any of the ones we have listed and you feel you have another method that would appropriately apply to your program, please select other and you can describe. Last but not least are the general rules and requirements for conducting your continuing education activity. To be in compliance with ACCME's standards for integrity and independence in accredited continuing education, you are required to observe the following procedures as you plan your CNE activity. You will indicate your agreement to observe those rules by selecting Agree after each rule is listed, and you will then select Submit because the application is complete. It will then state that the CNE team will review the application and I will receive an email upon approval of this program. If any changes need to be made, the CNE team will contact me directly, and we can always reach out to the CME team if we have any questions about this application. So I have received an approval email for my Enduring program. You will see at the top of the email, it includes the title of the program as well as your assigned course number or code. This number or code stays the same regardless of the date that you submit your rosters or the date that your participants have sat for the program. And note that all Enduring programs codes or number ends with the letter E. The program has been assigned the designated number of enduring ANCC contact hours through joint accreditation. This number should be the same that you saw on your application. And it gives you the dates that you can run your program through. and you will note that it is a 3-year span for enduring material activities, as long as the content or speakers do not change. Please note that documentation must be submitted in 1 year to continue offering this program, and you will also be expected to do it at the 2nd year mark in order to run the program for that 3rd year. So now what are the next steps? The Enduring Material landing page and slide deck. As discussed through the application, it is a requirement that the finalized Enduring Material landing page of your program is attached to your module on the Learning Management System. The finalized version of the landing page is attached to the email, and it is also a requirement that you include the slide deck at the beginning of your content within the module. So now you will receive an updated Enduring Material landing page attached to this approval email, just like you see the roster template attached. Rosters and certificates. At the end of each month, you will fill out the attached Excel spreadsheet of all of the participants who successfully completed your module on the Learning Management System for that month. You will receive an email on the start date of your program that will include a link. Please access that link to submit your first roster. Once a roster is submitted, your participants will be emailed a program evaluation within 3 days. As they complete their evaluation, they will be automatically awarded their contact hour certificate. You will receive a new link for additional monthly roster submissions on the last day of each month after you submit that initial roster. If you do not receive a link at the end of a month, please reach out to us and we will make sure you receive it so that you may upload and we can process additional rosters. Educational material. It is also a joint accreditation requirement that educational materials submitted for all programs. This could be slides, PDF format is fine, copies of handouts, links to the video content, etc. Please also keep in mind that you will need to submit a screenshot of the Enduring Material landing page actually on your module in the Learning Management System. You will be able to upload and submit this screenshot when you submit your first roster, and it will be required. Follow-up evaluation. Just a heads up that in 6 and 12 months' time, you will be contacted to submit the follow-up and program outcome evaluations for your Enduring program. And expiration. So as we discussed, this program on all Enduring programs are approved for 3 years. All Enduring programs are required to submit a content review form 1 year and 2 years after initiation of the program in order to offer it the 2nd and 3rd year. All clinical Enduring programs additionally are required to submit updated disclosure forms. 45 days before the 1 year mark of this program, and same with the 2nd year, 45 days before the 2 year mark of the program, you will receive an invite to submit all of the required updated documentation and information. Once you have submitted this documentation, the CNE team will review it and you'll be notified of approval to continue offering this Enduring program up until the expiration date. If you do not submit this survey or if it is not approved, you will be unable to continue offering your program and credit. So your future rosters will not be approved and processed for your learners. Again, if you have any questions or concerns, you can always email our team at nursingconferences@northwell.edu. So it is now the launch date of my Enduring Material activity, and I have received an invitation to submit my roster and educational material for my program. Now, you will want to wait till the end of that first month to submit any of the individuals who completed your Enduring Material activity successfully for that month. So please hold on to this invite until that last date of the first month so that you can upload your roster. So I started my program end of April 4/27. So it was really only a few days, but on the end of April, the last date of April, I am now ready to submit my roster and my educational material. When I click on the survey, it will bring me to this screen. At the top, you will have general program information, and then again, you are provided with the roster template in case you need another copy of it. You will then upload the roster from your program for that first month. You will then indicate what the name of your module in the learning management system is. Some people do name it something different than they actually titled their enduring material activity. So we would like to see what the exact name on our learning management system is. You will then upload a screenshot of the enduring material landing page on the learning management system. And again, this is a joint accreditation requirement. So let's take a look at what we are asking for. This is what a good screenshot with the Enduring landing page looks like. You can see the Enduring landing page on the iLearn platform. You will then upload any educational material from your program. This can be your module in the PowerPoint presentation itself as a PDF version, handouts. It can also be a link to your content, um, anything provided to your learners in that educational material, you will be able to upload it here. Once I have completed my submission, I am now going to hit submit, and it will tell me, thank you for submitting the documentation. Within 3 days, my participants will receive an evaluation, and upon completion of that evaluation, they will be automatically awarded their contact hour certificate. After you have submitted your initial roster, you will receive additional invites to submit rosters the last date of every month for the first year of your Enduring program. So it is now the next month, it's end of May, and I have received the invite to submit my roster for all of the participants that have taken my Enduring program in May. I clicked on the link and it brought me to this survey. At the top, again, it gives you just general program information. The date of the session will be indicated by the C&E team, and it will be the last date of that month, so you do not have to worry about changing this date. The roster template will be provided again for you, and you will upload the roster for your program for that month. You will then submit, and you will receive the notification that all of the participants will receive an evaluation within the 3 business days, and upon completion, they will be automatically awarded their contact hour certificate. At the 6 month mark, following the initiation of your Enduring program, you will be invited to submit your 6 month follow up evaluation for it. When you click on that link, it will bring you to this page, and you will see at the top, it just gives you general program information. Below, you will see instructions for each type of follow-up evaluation method and the expectations of what will be submitted. If you did select self-reported change in practice or focus group, you can utilize the survey template below. You were also provided this template on the application. However, it is also here for you if you did not already start collecting data. Below, you will be able to upload your 6 month follow-up evaluation for the program. I have uploaded mine and I hit submit, and it says, thank you for the 6 month follow-up evaluation. At the 12 month mark, you will also receive a very similar invite. You will open up the link and it will look like so. This looks exactly like the 6 month follow-up evaluation. So I have uploaded now my 12 month. We'll pretend we're at my 12 month mark. I uploaded my 12 month evaluation and I hit submit, and it says, thank you for submitting the 12 month follow-up evaluation. As discussed in the approval email, approximately 45 days before the 1 year mark of my Enduring program, I will receive an invite to submit content review and updated information for the program. If I do not submit this information, or if it is not approved, I am not permitted to keep offering my Enduring material, and it must be taken down. So I am interested in allowing my program to continue running for the next year. So I've opened up my survey. At the top, it gives you general program information, and you will then be provided with the content review form. We will look at what the content review form looks like. Either the planner yourself can fill out this content review form, or a subject matter expert can be the person to fill it out. In this form, you will simply indicate the course name, the course code or number, the reviewer's name, and the reviewer date. Whoever is reviewing this course is going to select one of the two following options. I deem the program to be up to date and not requiring any changes. I recommend that we renew it and approve for the program as is. Or that person will select that they have identified necessary changes to bring the program up to date and that they recommend these changes be made before the program is approved to continue. They will be able to list the changes needed below. The individual will sign and date, and again, a virtual or electronic signature is fine. You will upload that content review, and then it will ask, as indicated by the form above, were there any changes needed to bring the program up to date? On my form, they were not required. However, if they were, I would have said yes. And then it would have allowed me to upload the updated educational material with the changes indicated in the content review form. But I will go back and select no. Then it's going to ask me to upload a new enduring material landing page. You can utilize the existing landing page that you had for the first year of your program. However, at the bottom, you must make sure that this is updated. Your date released will remain the same. The date of most recent review will be the content review date, and your program expiration date will also remain the same. So the main thing that is changing is the date of most recent review. Please note that upon approval, it is a requirement that you update this page on the learning management system and submit a new screenshot. You will be asked to submit a screenshot when you submit your first roster for this year. So I've uploaded my new landing page. Now, my program was clinical. Had it been non-clinical, this disclosure form section would not require anything of me and it would not populate. However, because my program was clinical, I now have to submit all new disclosure forms for the individuals that were listed in my pre-application. You will notice that it has already populated the individuals that I listed in my pre-application with the option and the availability for me to upload their coordinating disclosure. So I have uploaded mine as well as my 3 reviewers' updated disclosures for this year. And then it will ask you, do you need to add any individuals to this program? In my case, there is no individuals that I must add. However, if there was someone else that is helping me maybe manage this enduring activity and submitting rosters and keeping it up to date, I would select yes. I would indicate how many individuals I am adding and I would upload disclosure forms for them. However, I am not doing this, so I am selecting no. I will then submit this form and it will say, thank you for your submission. The C&E team will review the documentation and will let me know if it has been approved. So now let's look at what that second year would look like. You are basically going to repeat everything you did in that first year. You will continue now to get roster submission upload invites at the end of every month for the next year. And you will also receive the second year 6-month and 12-month follow-up evaluation surveys. The only difference here is that on the 6-month follow-up evaluation for your enduring program, not only will you have to upload that 6-month follow-up evaluation, but we will also want a copy of the newest screenshot of the most updated enduring material landing page on the learning management system. This should be the one you submitted with your content review previously. So your updated copy will be attached here and you will submit it. The 12-month, you will not have to do that and you will just submit the follow-up evaluation for your program. That content review process is going to remain the same for that third year. And in that third year, you will be expected to keep submitting rosters as well as do that 6-month follow-up evaluation with the new screenshot for the third year, and additionally, your third year 12-month follow-up evaluation. As stated previously, enduring programs are only allowed to be approved for up to 3 years through joint accreditation. If you are coming up on that 3-year mark and you want to continue this enduring material activity, the application process must start over again. So please initiate that application 60 days prior to the expiration of your current enduring material program. If you have any questions about reapplication for your enduring program after the 3-year mark, please reach out to us at nursingconferences@northwell.edu.